Mad Mikey Gaming.
G'day all you mad gamers out there, Mad Mikey bringing you this week's edition of my gaming collection, otherwise known as shit I'm probably never going to play. In this week's edition we've got a few games, some I've never played, some I've actually put a lot of time into. Some actually hold some dear memories in my heart. Don't forget, if you do like today's video, don't forget to give it a little thumbs up or a big one. And also, let's get subscribers. I'm trying to get up to about 100 so that I can change the name of my channel to actually YouTube/Mad Mikey Gaming. The first game that we do have this week, I have a PlayStation 1 classic, Syphon Filter. So this is a game that I did start playing once I actually started getting into story-based games. So when I first got my PlayStation 1, I used to get all these sports games. I used to buy a game a day for about 30 days. Yeah, that's how crazy it got. I was trying to pick up a chick. But then I got introduced to a little game called Metal Gear. So Metal Gear was the first story-based game that I ever sort of got into and really sort of delved into. And then obviously I played that quite a lot, never really finished it to be honest, but then the next logical step for me was Syphon Filter. Now Syphon Filter was an extraordinary game, a lot of stealth elements, really made you feel like a secret agent, where obviously Metal Gear, it does have a little bit of similarities to Metal Gear. Obviously it didn't blow out as much. We do have a lot of Syphon Filter titles, so it did sort of make it all the way to the PlayStation 2 era. I personally don't remember that much about the game, to be honest. It was quite a long time ago. Got this game for $15 with another PlayStation 1 title, Total NBA 97. Now, as I said, I used to play the PlayStation 1 for a lot of sporting games, and NBA games was my jam. No pun intended there for NBA Jam. Now, I don't like using the word, but I literally used to buy every single NBA game you could get. There's no actual score. I can't find much on this, except for obviously a couple of the clips that I'm showing right now at the moment. I remember seeing this in the shops, and I'm fairly sure I owned it. And just with the cover, like it looking like a basketball, this was really cool. And back in the days, like, because there were so many basketball gaming titles, you used to actually have, obviously, certain games had certain rights to players. Very much like if you're into soccer and whatnot, so PES doesn't have the rights to many players, so they just make up a lot of things, but they do have their likenesses. Now in this game, obviously Michael Jordan was around in that time, but I don't even think EA Games had the rights to him, to be honest. So in this game, they actually just had him as guard number 23 sort of thing. It's actually amazing how they used to actually make these games and put in these big name titles. I think another player was actually Sir Charles Barkley himself. And next up, as I said in the intro, a game that was very near and dear to my heart. Now, this game I used to actually play with my girlfriend, now my wife, my beautiful wife. And we used to just sort of spend our sort of Friday night sitting up playing this game. And it is the Urbz Sims in the City. Wait a second. CEX, you mutters. CEX has done it to me again. They've sent me the wrong game. So, CEX, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a UK-based company trading in Australia. They've got shops in every state apparently except the state that I live in. But it's actually on the inside. There's no slips, so as a collector, this is annoying. Just a bit annoying. Now, while we're on the subject of Classic, one of the Facebook groups that I'm actually involved in, they sort of said, look, you guys as collectors and whatnot, what are your do's and don'ts? Classics is a big no-no for collectors, and especially for myself. You want to have your original. Now, as you can see, I don't think that this is actually the original packaging for the NBA, but I got it as a 2 for $15, so I wasn't really going to be complaining about that. Classic games I used to be all like, you know what, the game's the game. It's still the same game. But when it's sitting with the rest of them, it looks like it doesn't look that good. So basically, I avoid it at all costs. But if it's a game that I've got to have, that I've really got to have, I won't care. I'll buy it because they're generally cheaper than the original ones, and you can always sort of get them. So if I want to play it and whatnot, I'll actually buy the classics. But you know what, I'll hold off for an original one. The Urbz, it was sort of a spin-off of The Sims, so it might be understandable how they got it sort of confused. I don't know, but we used to sit up and just play around with it. So you could it's a life simulator, so it's basically like The Sims, but it's in the city, which is actually, funnily enough, its tagline. And it was actually a cool game. Like it was more of a story-driven game than what your Sims games was, but more like sort of what your Sims games are now, so to speak. And look, as I said, sentimental value. The missus may sort of play it. I don't know. She's pretty pumped about the mini NES coming out and playing some Bubble Bobble with me. When I told her Bubble Bobble was on it, she's like, yes, you can buy that. So thanks, darling. And next up we have Wrestlemania 21 for the Xbox. Now, this is actually one of the first actual wrestling games that took you online. So that's what was that was the big hook about it. It wasn't the best sort of scored game. I mean, I don't know. I'll try and do a close up of the back, and you just see the graphics, and I do not remember the graphics being this good on the game. Now, this one actually has like your story based, where you become a legend and whatnot. So, and you can create your own titles. But look, it's a wrestling game, as I've said in previous ones. Collecting wrestling games, and now I might be sort of going into the basketball ones. It's because you're going to have wrestlers and whatnot that aren't specifically around anymore. So, like, say you might want to think, oh, I want to play Hillbilly Jim. Like, not that he's in many of the games, but I want to show him off. Like, when I get older and whatnot and have kids, I want to be able to sort of say, hey, this was a wrestler and whatnot and things like that. I mean, you've got the WWE network and whatnot, but yeah. But you know what? As I said, this game actually suffered. Like, it had a lot of the older wrestlers who were missing. I actually read that Tori Wilson wasn't in it, so I almost threw it out the window. Just kidding. But it's got a, like, Nadia. Like, who remembers Nadia if you like wrestling? She's in it. I think it's the only wrestling game that she's ever been in. And what we have next, Burnout, which I will admit I've never played this. I played Burnout 3, and Burnout 3 was an amazing game. So I'm really looking forward to actually maybe checking this out if I do sort of let the mood. But the graphics on this actually look really amazing, and I do remember that 3, even on the Xbox, were spectacular graphics. Like just the actual raw feeling of speed and smashing into things and all the sparks and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's in this, but you know what, let's try it out and have a look. And the last bit, another one of CEX's many muck-ups, not the game itself, Mortal Kombat Deception. So just a bit of a story with Mortal Kombat. I used to love these games, obviously on the Sega Master System 2. I bought it 1, 2, 3 all the way up. Then a friend of mine gave me, I think it was a priority copy of Mortal Kombat 4, and I played that and I'm like, this is really weird and crap, and I really didn't like sort of the move to the 3D sort of space. So I really missed out on a lot of the Mortal Kombat games sort of moving forward. But these games on CEX, so look, long story short, CEX, you get what you pay for, I think, at the end of the day. They're like $3 to $8, and I ordered this one probably coming close to 2 months. So there was a mix-up with my delivery address and whatnot. They blame me, I blame them. It goes backwards and forwards, so then they finally gave me a refund, and they said, look, we'll organise to sort of send you out the games that have been missing. So this was actually one of them, and then later on they said, we're actually out of stock of Mortal Kombat Deception. So I'm like, great, so I'm only going to get 2 games. One of them was Wrestlemania, and I'm still waiting on the other one. I think it's Shaolin Monks or something. It's another Mortal Kombat game. I went to pick up a whole bunch of them. And so I went onto the site, and lo and behold, Mortal Kombat Deception was available. So I went out, I bought it. glad I got it. Like, I want to collect all the Mortal Kombat games. They're simple. I enjoy them. I'm not really into sort of your Street Fighters and whatnot. And so that's actually it for my gaming collection this week. Moving forward over the next week and a bit, this is probably going to be my last clip for just a couple of weeks. I'm actually going in for surgery on Monday to repair my meniscus on my knee. So I'm going to be probably couch ridden. So obviously you might be able to see us on Twitch, or I might sort of start streaming on the old PlayStation on the YouTubes. That's obviously if the PlayStation Network gets its act together and is online, because the last time I read today, which I did my news on Anchor, they're down. But with that being said, that's it for this week. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Let me know if you have any memories or anything of these games, because I'd love to check it out. Don't forget to check out all my social media, and you can come and chat me there. I generally respond pretty quickly and whatnot. And as we finish all of our videos, I will say to you, peace!